Hello everyone, this is Madale of Motivation Philippines, your mind wellness coach, and welcome to our second episode. And this time it will be very unique because we are going to answer 3 common questions coming from our friends of Motivation Philippines. And these are: why we need to face fears, why we need to overcome struggles, and why we need to take risks in our life. And we feel that we need to, and we want to, because this will help you face your daily lives and help you become a better person. So, sit back and relax as we find the beautiful answer to these questions. And that's it, friend. We are now going to answer our first question, and that is why we need to face our fears. Fears for me personally are our own mindset and beliefs about ourselves, or sometimes to the world or to the people around us. Fear is actually anything that is perceived a threat or a danger. But the thing here is that sometimes we think of fear which is not yet actually happening or existing. So I'm going to talk to you 2 of the most common fears that we have as a person. That is number 1, fear of losing other people, and number 2, fear of judgment. And let me begin with the fear of judgment. Fear of judgment is that we are scared of what others will tell about us. Sometimes we try to become the real us, but we try not to be the real us so we can get away with those judgment coming from other people. The judgment from other friends, judgment from your families, judgment from the school, judgment from your loved ones, and sometimes even in your work. Thus, the result of fear of judgment is that we sometimes adjust our set of standards or our real self so that we can get away with the comments from these people. And we also bend our principles and adjust ourselves and put on some masks so that we can hide being who we really are, just to avoid judgment from other people. And when this happens, we continuously doing it over and over until we feel not happy anymore and unfulfilled, because we are living a life that is not real and that is not us. Thus, you become unhappy. In order to fight this, of course, is that you have to face and accept the judgment of other people. Yes, that's one powerful step for you to face fears of the judgment coming from other people. When you accept the fact that people will always be there and people will always judge you, you will be able to understand that the judgment from other people is always inevitable, meaning you cannot control. There are 2 kinds of judgment: the judgment from other people and the judgment of yourself you're telling yourself all about. And this thing is that the judgment coming from other people is something that you cannot control, and the judgment to yourself is something that you can control. Therefore, my message to you is that, or tip to you is that, you have to think which judgment you will focus and spend your energy with. Are you going to spend your energy in focusing those people, or are you going to spend your energy in being mindful on what kind of judgment that you tell about yourself? The second common fear that we always have in our life is the fear of losing other people. When we get too much attached to something, we fear that someday this thing will be gone. And when this is not yet happening, we now sometimes have these fears in our minds. So therefore, all you have to do is that you need to understand the concept that everything in life is temporary. Yes, nothing is temporary except change. I always tell other people that the moment you receive something in your life is also the moment you begin to accept and let go in your life. Therefore, those are the 2 fears that you need to understand in facing our fears in lives. And that is the fear of judgment from other people and the fear of losing people. And we go now to the second question, and that is how to overcome or why we need to overcoming struggles. Struggling is how we can actually put our choices into action. And there are two common struggles that we see every day, and that is struggle in self-mastery and struggle in pleasing others. Struggle in self-mastery is that how we can become a better person. That is why we make our choices every day, we make our plans every day, or we wanted to try to hit a goal one day. And that is example of that is going to the gym. But the problem is that we sometimes end up not doing anything at all. So I have two tips for you in order for you to overcome that struggle in self-mastery. And that is number one, being consistent and being committed. Being consistent is not the same with being committed. You have to be consistent with your plans and with your habits, and you have to be committed also with your goals. So when these two things come together, you can overcome struggle to self-mastery. The second very common struggle is the struggle in pleasing other people. We try to make others define our self-worth, and we sometimes base it on how people treat us. And we base also our actions, decisions, and principles even at the expense of being who we are inside. Sometimes we make decisions that we don't really like at all because we want to please others. So when we try to start to please others, we begin to lose ourselves. So don't please others because we always shine in our own way. Remember, you cannot be always the hero to everyone, but you can be a hero to someone. And that's it. We are now on the third and last question, and that is why we need to take risk. Risk is actually the possibility of losing something, and we take a lot of risk every day through our choices. Sometimes when we want to fulfill our dreams, we take a lot of risks. And in taking risks, we need to sacrifice. We sacrifice so many things in our lives because we know the purpose and we know the value. That's why we want to take the risk. And for example, when we try to give our time to others, we call it service. When we try to give a part of ourselves to others, it's called sometimes a blessing to them or kindness or sharing. And when we try to choose to battle depression and despair every day because of course we wanted to take the risk that there is a possibility that there is a hope at the end of the tunnel. And when we do not give value to our work and we do not give value to the opportunity in helping others, then we become not be willing to sacrifice. And when we are not ready to sacrifice, we can never learn to take risks. So if you are ready to take the risks, you must be also ready to give your sacrifices, because only when you know what to give, that's the time you know what to get. And that is why a life without risk is a life without worth living. So that's it, guys. We are done, and thank you so much for watching our videos. We hope that you got something very useful to help you in your daily lives. Do not forget to click like and comment and subscribe for future videos and more positive videos coming from the Motivation Philippines. And we would like to thank the amazing crew and team who made this video very possible. To the team, Andre, Rhys, Sade, Julia, Reggie for today, thank you so much, guys. And see you to the next episode. Voila!
Hey, what's up?